Minealcubo de vuelta, aquí está KilFer en The Stanley Parable, capítulo 2, la parábola de Stanley. Exactamente donde lo dejamos, que nos habían dicho de ir a la sala de reuniones. Supongo que ya acabó el primer final, así que la cuestión será de ir avanzando y
When
continuar.
Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his
Venga,
left.
esta vez vamos a hacerle caso, vamos a ir por la izquierda. Las puertas siguen cerradas todas.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Vale. Broom closet. ¡Oh, esto se abre!
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
¿Por qué no puedo coger nada? Se va a cerrar la puerta. ¿Cómo quieres que salga?
There was nothing here. No choice to
Así
make,
puedo.
no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Voy a esperar que abra una tercera vez por si hay un logro.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet.
No.
He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way.
Hola.
As it is, he's literally just standing
Vale,
there
ya
doing
continúo.
sweet FA.
Seguro que hay un logro si me quedo más tiempo, segurísimo.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, venga, esta vez voy a hacerle caso del todo. Vamos hacia arriba. Qué elegantes, por Dios. Baño ejecutivo. La puerta desentona un poco con lo elegante que es el resto de la sala, pero... Ahora, el cuarto del
Stepping
jefe.
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again
El del
stunned
centro
to
es el
discover
icono
not
que
an
tiene
indication of any human life.
el juego en
Shocked,
Steam.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons
sí,
on the
al azar.
keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Al azar, claro, y no me los has dicho ni nada. Solamente por aquí. Otro botón para abajo. ¿Por qué tengo la impresión de que me van a matar? Ya sabéis, esa ligera impresión que todo chico tiene alguna vez en su vida de que me dirijo directamente a mi muerte. No, si no sería la sala del jefe.
Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt
Voy a la
more
sala de
free to
monitores
think
otra
for
vez.
himself, to question the nature of
Voy a la
his
sala de
role.
monitores,
Why
seguro.
did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Iba a decir, no tengo luz. No, ahí hay un poquito. Esto veréis poco seguramente.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Esto lo probaremos en un final alternativo, que es seguro. Mind Control Facility. Y estas son las pantallas. Porque esto era lo que había abajo del todo. No sé si lo recordáis. Si le damos al botón grande.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Bingo, ¿lo
screens.
veis? La pasarela.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Hay como numeritos, ¿verdad? Vamos a seguir la pasarela. Yo soy de los que tienen vértigo.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Ascensor.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Hay un botón 5. Aquí un botón grande. ¿No puedo pulsar el gran botón? No. Pues tendré que pulsar el 5. Voy a pulsar antes nada. No hace nada. Ahí hay otro, espera, vamos a ver. Le he dado al 5. ¿Cómo llego hasta allí? Es por donde he venido. Pues, si vosotros no veis nada, no os preocupéis. Yo tampoco veo nada. ¿Por aquí? No. ¿Cómo llego hasta allá arriba? Ah, ahí están las escaleras. Que es por aquí. Oye, voy a... Un segundito. Vídeo. Brillo, brillo. No hay nada de brillo. A ver, os parió. Pues entonces, lo siento si veis poco, pero os digo que yo veo también. Este es el 4. ¿Dónde puede estar el 3? ¿Ahí abajo quizás? Ah, ahora. Es que no veo y no sé cuándo he terminado de andar por las escaleras y cuándo no. Este es el 1. Le he dado al 5, le he dado al 4. Ahí están, el 1 y el 2. Me falta el 3, solo el 3. ¿Es eso? No, eso es una pantalla. Perspectiva. No, que no puedo saltar. Ahí está, ese es. Eso es, ¿verdad? Eso es, ahora. 3. 2. 1. Y ya. Vale, pues entonces no activaba nada y he perdido tiempo. Ah, luego le contesto. Vamos a probar por aquí. Facility Power. Se cerrará la puerta, espero que no. Lo que pone, solamente puedo leer Table.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Le hemos dicho que le íbamos a hacer caso todo el rato, así que le voy a dar que off, pero la verdad es que darle al on me tienta muchísimo. Se apaga la luz del on. Hola. Hola. ¿Por qué está todo oscuro?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from
¿Por qué si hay
someone
una luz
else's
tan
command.
fuerte no veo
Freedom was
nada?
mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone
¿Dónde
tell
está?
him where to go.
No sé si habéis parado a pensar que aquí ya no están los botones de on y off.
Whatever
O sea,
life
esto
is,
no es donde
it
estaba
will
antes.
be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game, he ganado. O sea, se gana siguiendo todas las instrucciones de nuestro amigo el narrador. Vale, vuelta a empezar para seguir buscando otro final. Pues como ha sido un poco corto, vamos a ir rápidos y vamos a buscar el siguiente final. ¿Vale?
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot.
Le está dando una lista de la
See you
compra.
tonight.
Tranquila, hija mía, yo le paso el recado, si es que le veo. Oye, me gustan esos cambios de... Está dando una lista de la compra de lo que tiene que comprar cuando salga del trabajo. El problema es que ni siquiera está en el trabajo, pero bueno. Vamos a coger la puerta de la derecha, pero en vez de meternos por el
When
este...
Stanley came to a set of two
Vamos a ir
open doors, this was not
hasta
the
el
correct
fondo.
way to the meeting room, and
Vamos a probar
Stanley
hacia el
knew it
fondo.
perfectly well. Perhaps he
Cuando
wanted
he
to stop
girado y
by
me he
the
metido en la
employee
sala de
lounge
máquinas,
first, just to
había un
admire.
camino que era todo recto.
Wow, yes, this room.
¿Ves?
But eager to get back to
La
business,
puerta del fondo.
Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Vale, que no mienta. Que sí, si estoy mintiendo ahora mismo, que mienta. Ya... Que se espera un poquillo, ¿dónde? Anda. Puerta cerrada. ¿En serio hay multa por caerte?
Oh, well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can
Creo
make
que la acabo de fastidiar. No, ¿esa puerta se
Come
abrirá?
on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
Tú lo que quieres es que me muera. Y de paso tendré que pagar una multa de 6.000, ¿sabes? ¿En las cajas? No. Hala, vamos a morir. Porque seguro que muero.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Gracias, señor. Vale, tercer final. Muerto completamente. Destrozado. Esto no es lo que yo recuerdo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Esto está cambiado, ¿verdad?
The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business,
Venga.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Esta vez al fondo y no salimos de la plataforma. Por
Stanley
listo.
was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Podría probar y saltar aquí, ¿sabes?
Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not
Lo probaremos.
asking
En el
for
próximo
me,
capítulo probaremos
asking for
saltando por ese pasillito.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
¿Quién es ella? Que por aquí solamente hay una puerta y sin luz.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another. Oh, no, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone?
¿Se podía?
Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
¿En serio?
Check.
¿En serio?
Oh, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
¿El qué? ¿El que has
You're
notado?
not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to
¿En
make correct
serio?
and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making, or did you not grasp the severity of the situation. Well, I
No,
won't
perdona,
have
yo
that
no he
kind of
hecho
risk
eso.
on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
A ver el vídeo instructivo.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example,
Elegir
in
es
this
la-
scenario, a hypothetical real person named Stephen has a choice. He could
Según-
spend
no sé
years
si- bueno,
helping
supongo que
improve
sabréis
the
inglés.
quality of life for citizens of impoverished third world nations.
¿En serio?
Or he could
¿Eh?
systematically set fire to every orphan living in a 30-kilometer radius of his house. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not
Me
make
gusta ese
sense,
suma.
in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Básicamente que lo bueno de las personas y lo malo es de la
Excellent.
acción.
Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember, that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Me va a devolver otra vez al inicio, supongo. Me ha puesto...
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
¿En serio? ¿Me van a tratar ahora como si fuera un niño pequeño? Y no puedo... Claro, se me han puesto vallas. Tengo que coger el único camino posible. Me ha cerrado. Todas las demás puertas están cerradas. ¡Ah!
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late. Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it?
Sí,
know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have
¿Y si no hubiera cogido la puerta a la derecha? Adiós, hasta luego, amigo.
I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it?
No.
That there's a world outside of you? You're a child.
Sí, 19 años, pero soy un crío pequeño, no te preocupes.
My story...
No te preocupes, ya te compraré
If you'd
otra.
just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it.
Ya me lo he pasado.
So hard. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he
Pues
entered the door on his left.
vamos a dejarlo por aquí ahora que sabemos. Nos ha dejado exactamente en el mismo momento, cuando he entrado por segunda vez por la puerta de la derecha. Vamos a probar por la de la izquierda y ya veremos lo que hacemos, si reconoce o no. Vamos a dejarlo por aquí. De Stanley Parable, segundo capítulo. Nos vemos... Uy, este está cortado. Nos vemos en el tercer capítulo dentro de... A saber, pronto. Hasta luego. Un like, favorito y comentar, que siempre se me olvida. Hasta luego.